I have to question where people take these for their MOTs. There's no way a commercial vehicle place where you take this, I mean this is 3.5, 4 tons, they would not pass that leaf spring bracket there. They just wouldn't. It's just crumbling. When I take the leaf spring off later on, just at the front, when I pull that pin out, that towing eye there on the front, that just fell away. It's crumbling metal, it's falling apart, it's rotten. That would not pass an MOT. It just wouldn't. 3-4 years for it to be like that. That doesn't get like that in 1 year. That's 3-4 years that have even longer. There's no way that could fail any time. That did not pass any form of MOT. That's a dodgy place they took that for. Look at the state of that. You see better stuff in a scrapyard. That is terrible. A reputable company would not pass that at all. Always handy if you've got the tools to take things off. I got a big compressor from when I had my business. I still kept hold of that when I sold all the equipment. Always comes in handy. Makes light work of getting all these solid nuts off. As you can see with all that, there's a trolley jack, 2 jacks, all those big thick pieces of timber holding the chassis up. There's 2 axle stands underneath it. That thing isn't going anywhere. It's not going to fall or nothing. So if you're going to do this type of thing, make sure everything's safe, people. You don't want this falling off you, because I don't think you're going to be going to the hospital if it drops you. If it drops on you. Stick a bit of heat on this, let it get expanded, you know, the nut in the bolts. A bit of heat always helps. Nat gas is the best. Unless you work in a commercial garage, and then probably get some acetylene on it or whatever, but this does the job. I actually ordered, well, I've been onto the company about these leaf spring brackets on the front, this one that's falling apart, but they keep telling me they're on the way, but I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, so I've decided to take this one off and fabricate a new one. You'll see it as this video goes on. You'll see how I've made it and put them all back on. They're not very thick metal on all these brackets that they've made from. I've used 4mm steel. This thing, what I'm building is putting together, is solid. Isn't going anywhere. I remember at the beginning of this video I said to you about this towing eye on the front. That just falls away. Just watch this. Look at that. A couple of taps of an hammer and the thing's off. That did not pass an MOT. Commercial place would not let that pass. Yeah, they didn't hit it with an hammer, and yeah, they didn't smash it off. But that's crap. No matter how much paint you would have put all over that, you would have seen that that was shit. Yeah, I've not touched anything on that. I've not done nothing to it. I've only put the camera around the other side and hit it with a few times with the hammer. And because it's all layered and in bits, I can't get it all off in one go. I have to just keep chipping away at it, wiggling bits off. Just gradually work my way through the whole thing up to where the good metal is on the chassis. And look how thick that, how thin that metal is. Even when it was new, it wasn't thick. It's just that it's a moulded shape, and that's how it has its structure when you bolt it all together. It's a pretty long video this, so you'll probably fast forward on most of it. But I just thought I'd show you all the little bits of process that I went through just working my way through this crap. The chassis on the end is crap, that all needs replacing. You'll see where I cut it all away in a bit. But most of it is good. Up to where it just bends up, you can see the chassis there. As it goes backwards, it bends up a little bit. You can see the section of the leaf spring fitting underneath. Up to where that wood starts, that's all good after that. Helps having these tools as well. You can see the spot weld just behind where I've got this air hammer on now. There's 3 wells along the top as well here. We're seeing a bit where they grind them off. And just keep swapping it over. There's 3 or 4 spot wells that have held really good. It's just that the metal around it has just rotted off. I just keep swapping them over, keep chipping away trying to get it all off. That where I'm grinding there's a spot well there, and there's 2 more further along at the top which you have to grind off. Bit awkward with the camera there on a tripod. Plus I have 2 neighbours that work nights, so just behind that fence you can see there, the guy works nights. So I only do this late in the afternoon. You know, I'm not a total arsehole that I'm going to grind early in the morning, because if they didn't come home from work till like 5-6 o'clock in the morning. And plus there's a guy on the other side of the road, he works nights as well. So, you know, I'm not going to piss my neighbours off by doing this. So I'll leave this till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon rather, when I know they're up and they know I'm doing jobs, so they're okay with that. You'll see in a bit one of these wells gives away, and then I can move to the next one. You just got to keep going at it. You see the metal start to move. Yeah, you can see it dropping down now. They're good, these air hammers. So it's broke through that weld. And the one behind it, I have to get that down now. The video will cut to something else in a minute, but you can see what I'm doing here. You just got to keep working through all these little bits to get this metal off. Get it to a part where you're happy that you can clean the rest of the chassis up, start building the new metal in. The new steel that I put in was 4mm steel to make the box section, which you'll see later on in a bit. Yeah, see, I've got that top section that you've just seen me grinding. That's off now, but left that metal underneath. But that all needs grinding down now and tidying up. These are just the last bits at the bottom. Half of this metal's like fucking kitchen foil. It's just shit. Now later in the video it doesn't show me the bottom section of where the chassis is. You can see that other piece there, it's all crappy at the bottom. That all comes off. I did a few other little bits of video, it shows you all that, but I can't find it, so you're just going to have to... You can see there where it was cut off. The front section of the chassis has all been cut off. Now I'm just hoovering up all the shit that's inside the chassis, all the crumbling metal, but you can see the chassis in the back there where I've hoovered it all out, that's all solid. There's nothing wrong with that bit. I still finished cutting all this off. This is just to show you where I've got to up to now. I ended up cutting all this other metal up to where it was all perfectly clean, got the grinder on it, but I can't find that video, so you're just going to have to trust me that I actually did it. There was lots more work to be done here on this section. I didn't just weld on that shit there, I just ground it all down and got it all back to clean bare metal, and then welded all this new 4mm steel on it. That's why it's jumped straight forward now to me cutting out these leaf spring brackets that I've got to make up. That's the template, which luckily enough the leaf spring bracket on the other side of the vehicle was spot on. There's nothing wrong with that, so I had to make some templates off that one. I've got the brackets, made a template, marked it out on here, and now I'm just getting this plasma cutter on and cut the shapes out. It'd have been great if I could just buy these brackets, but this company I've asked, they just keep saying, oh, they're on the way. You know what I mean? How long do you wait? If they say they've turned up, well then I'll buy one, because the other one might want replacing sooner or later. So I'll get one off them. Depending on the price, I might even get two. You never know. But the one that I'm making now, later on in the video, you'll see it. It's rock solid. And it looks good. This is only a cheap plasma cutter. I used to have an expensive one, but that still broke after 2 or 3 years. So I bought this one off Amazon. I think it's about 120 quid. Does the job. I've got no issues with it whatsoever. Go through a lot of consumables, but you do with an expensive one. You don't use these things often. My compressor's massive, so it's makes light work of all this. I only show you me making one of these up. I don't have to show you both of these brackets that I make. I'm only duplicating it twice. I should wear some better gloves, but I don't. I find them too big and bulky, so. Yeah, I'll just grind it. I mean, put some heat in there. You can see the heat, the penetration there. There's the first one, all shaped up. That's where the hole will go for the leaf spring bolt to go through. I'll just have to round the corners off, and then make another one up. I'm quite pleased with that. Use that one now as a template. And cut another one out. Plus the plasma cutter is a lot quieter than grinding, so I could do this early in the morning. I did this about 10:30. Neighbours was in bed, so I wasn't bothering them, which is good. They're good neighbours, so I don't see why I should piss them off. Right, there's one that I've started to do. As you can see, that's serious metal. That's 4mm steel I'm putting around the side of it. I bought that piece of metal from B&Q. Straightforward stuff. They've got it off the shelf. It's not hard. Heat it up with a MAP gas. I'm only showing you the last bit, but you can see the process that I did all the way around. I just kept going and going and going all the way around to make the shape. Not the ideal bench and vise, just not botch something up. Well, as you can see, it falls out. It is what it is, you make do. And I end up cutting this bit off in a bit and welding it all the way around, because as you can see there, it's just tacked in. Serious heat went into that, putting that on there. That thing, see the heat gone through the back. You can see where the welds are, the tack welds, and it was welded all the way around. Now these are the bolt eyes that go through the bracket and the towing hitch on the front there. I mean, look at that crap. All this was taken off, all cleaned down. You got to grind it down to get those two eyes. So I can cut the hole and put the and fit them into the new bracket. There I am, grinding the crap down now. Did the same on both of them. Just kept working at it to get it down. Needed it then to be clean metal so that I could weld it in. You don't want these things coming out. I don't need to show you ages and ages of me doing it. Same process on them both. There you go. There's the new bolt, brand new bolt. This is a bit longer than the original one because these eyes are on the outside. I just thought, sod it, I'm not putting the old one on. There's the new rings, all clean. Gonna get top weld on that. There's one of the eyes bolted in at the bottom, or just fitted in. There's the weld. 3 bolts at the top, which I've already fitted on the new chassis that I welded on. I needed to put these through the bolts so that it would all be held in place nice and tight so I can do my welding. There's the heat for that, the new bolt eye. That ain't coming off nowhere. Nice snug fit, all cleaned up. Better quality made that than the originals. There you go, both of them in place now. All welded on at the front, down the sides, over the top. Towing eye is on at the front. New plate, steel 4mm plate was all in, all welded down, ground down. Put a bit of sealer at the top because there was slightly little gaps from the top bracket and that. That thing isn't going anywhere. That is rock solid. That'll still be in good nick, that, when this vehicle is long gone. It'll be lying in a scrapyard somewhere and that bracket will be lying there in top condition. And there it is, all painted up. I'm not bothered about the paint on the leaf spring. I'm going to get all them changed front and back rather. I think that looks good, all lined up perfectly. I don't put all that black shit on. When I pressure wash the chassis, it was all white, so I've done the same thing. It was primed and 3 coats of white Amorite on that. That looks good. You've got to be impressed. I'm impressed with that. That's pretty good. Did a good job of that. Brand new steel all round.